Hearty welcome to the guest speakers, the principal, the secretary, Mother Superior, the head department of English, the convener and the organizing secretary. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, and serve the Lord with gladness. Psalms 100. With sheer joy and delight, let us all jazz up with resounding musicality of nature to spread the warmth of love and greetings on this auspicious day of International Seminar on Bridging the Divide Cultural Reconciliation in Peace Literature, organized by the English Literary Association, PG and Research Department of English, Jairaj Anavakin College for Women, who practice Pope Francis Victim of called to be the loving custodians of God's creation. Hearty welcome to the guest speakers, the principal, the secretary, and the superior, the head department of English, the convener, and the organizing secretary. The silent clouds of water, the rhythmical movement of the moon, and the rising of the sun or the glorification of God to infuse meditative harmony. It's time to bridge the soul with startling silence. Kindly rise up for the prayer.
Bible reading. A reading from the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verses 6 to 12. I will give you peace in your land, and you will sleep without being afraid of any more. I will get rid of the dangerous animals in the land, and there will be no more war there. You will be victorious over your enemies. Your harvest you will be so plentiful, that they will not last for a year. I will be with you, I will be your God, and you will be my people. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Prayer. Lord, God of peace, as we have gathered here on this day to be the instruments to build a better world of harmony, bless us, Lord, where peace becomes the language we speak and the earth we breathe. Draw us, Lord, to bring all our humble tools and work with you, to find peace with our brothers and sisters. We ask this prayer in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Kindly be seated. I welcome Dr. Jayapriya, Dean Research, Director International Relations, Professor and Head Department of English and Foreign Languages, Mother Teresa Women's University, Kodaikanal, who is virtually presented with us in Google Meet. The cuckoo is an announcer to herald another day. I request Dr. Patricia Alfine Nirmala, Head and Associate Professor of English, who is the impeccable leader of PG and Research Department of English, to welcome the August gathering.
Pleasant morning to all. Honorable guests, distinguished scholars and participants from around the world. It's our great pleasure to welcome you to the International Seminar on Bridging the Divide, Cultural Reconciliation in Peace Literature, organized by the PG Department of English, Jayaraj Boykan College. We are thrilled to host this significant event in a hybrid mode, bringing together scholars, researchers and experts from diverse backgrounds and geographical locations. It's our great honor to welcome Dr. Jayapriya, Associate Professor and Head Department of English and Foreign Languages, Mother Teresa Women's University, Kodaikanal, to our international seminar as the keynote speaker. We are happy that you could join us online today to set the tone for our discussion. Your impressive academic credentials, extensive teaching experience and remarkable research accomplishments make you an ideal choice to inaugurate our seminar. We are excited to hear your insightful inaugural address, which will undoubtedly inspire and motivate our participants. It's our great pleasure to welcome Dr. Chitra, Assistant Professor and Department of Arts and Humanities, College, Royal University of Bhutan, to our international seminar. Your impressive academic background, extensive teaching experience and remarkable research accomplishment make you an invaluable addition to our gathering. We are particularly impressed by your expertise in English literature and language, as well as your research interest in cultural studies, post-colonial studies, and women's and gender studies. Your contribution to the field of humanities are truly commendable. Your presence here is a testament to your commitment to academic excellence and interdisciplinary collaboration. We welcome you, ma'am. It's a great pleasure to welcome Dr. Pranesh Kumar, a distinguished academician, to our seminar today. He has had an illustrious career, serving as Assistant Professor and Head of the Department of English at St. Alfonso College of Arts and Science and previously as Senior Assistant Professor at VIT University, Bangalore. Dr. Pranesh Kumar has published numerous papers and books on language teaching, literature and cognitive linguistics. He has also received several awards to his research contribution, including the Research Award 2016 and 17 from VIT University. We are honored to have you, sir, join us today to share your insight and expertise with us. Please join me in extending a warm welcome. It's my great honor to welcome our principal, Dr. Sister Jaisrani. We are fortunate to have your visionary leadership and academic expertise. Your guidance has been instrumental in shaping our institution's academic programs and research initiatives. Welcome you, sister. Your We record your tireless efforts in supporting our institution and promoting its mission. Your dedication is invaluable to our sister. You are welcome. We are very grateful to welcome the Mother Superior, Dr. Fatima Mary Sylvia. We are gifted for your spiritual guidance and leadership. Your presence inspires us to strive for a more compassionate and harmonious world. Welcome, Mr. Sister. We extend a special welcome to Professor Melvin Protigi and other professors from Jera Janavattam College to this August gathering. I extend a welcome to paper presenters and participants both online and offline. We are delighted to see such a diverse and enthusiastic gathering of scholars, researchers and students from various parts of the world. We would like to express our gratitude to all paper presenters for sharing your research with us. Your contribution will undoubtedly enrich our discussion and provide valuable insights into the seminar's theme. Throughout the seminar, we encourage you to engage actively, ask questions and share your thoughts and ideas. Let us work together to create a stimulating and enriching experience for all. I extend a warm welcome to our convener, Mrs. Mary Shubha, and Joint Secretary, Mrs. Monica. We acknowledge your meticulous planning, coordination and execution. Your attention to detail and ability to bring everything together seamlessly have ensured a smooth and successful events. We welcome you. Warm welcome to the faculty members of the organizing committee. We record your contribution, support and hard work. Your collective efforts have made this seminar a reality and we appreciate your commitment to academic excellence. As we navigate the complexities of our increasingly interconnected world, this seminar serves as a timely reminder of the importance of cultural reconciliation and peaceful coexistence. We hope that the session that unfolds today will inspire new perspectives, foster collaborations and contribute meaningfully to the field of peace literature. I welcome our dear students to this international seminar. Once again, thank you for joining us. We look forward to a productive and fruitful seminar. Welcome, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am, for spreading the warmth of welcome. Harmony prevails where the light exists. It's time to discern the omnipresence of God through light. I request the guest speakers, the principal, the secretary, Mother Superior, head of the English department, the convener and the organizing secretary on the dais to light the lamp. and dear sisters. As the remarkable progress towards this international seminar, which sprang up in the form of abstract proceedings, I request Reverend Dr. J. Surani, the principal, to release the abstract proceedings, followed by the receival of first copy by Dr. Chitra and Dr. Pranesh Kumar. Thank you all. It's time to honor the guest speakers. May I request Reverend Dr. J. Surani, the principal, to honor our guest speaker, Dr. Chitra, Assistant Professor and Program Leader, Royal University of Bhutan, with a shawl and memento. Thank you, sister. Thank you, ma'am. I request Dr. Patricia, head of the department, to honor our guest speaker, Dr. Pranesh Kumar, Professor of English, Stella Maris College of Engineering, Kanyakumari, with a shawl and memento. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. It's time to honor our principal. I request Dr. Ainsman Sonna, Assistant Professor of English, to honor our principal, Reverend Dr. J. Surani. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sister. I request Mrs. Mary Shuma, the convener, to honor our secretary, Reverend Dr. Shanta Mary Joshita, with a shawl and memento. Thank you, sister. Thank you, ma'am. I request Mrs. Monica, the organizing secretary, to honor our Mother Superior, Reverend Dr. Fatima Mary Sylvia. Thank you, sister. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. Here we have our principal, who is always the supporting source of JSC to reach the ample boundaries. I request you, sister, to deliver the presidential note.
Respected resource persons of the International Seminar, Dr. Jayapriya, Dean of Research, Director of International Relations, and Professor, Head and Department of English and Foreign Languages, Kodaikanal. Dr. Ganesh Kumar, Professor of English, Department of Science and Humanities, Stella Maris College of Engineering, Kanyakumari. Sir, welcome, sir. Dr. Chitra, Assistant Professor and Program Leader English, Department of Arts and Humanities, Royal University of Bhutan. Welcome. Reverend Sister Dr. Shanta Mary Josita, our Secretary of our College, Reverend Sister Dr. Fatima Mary Sylvia, Mother Superior of our College, Dr. Patricia Alfie Nirmala, Professor of English Department, Convener Mrs. Mary Suba, and Assistant Professor, Mrs. Monica, Organizing Secretary, and Assistant Professor of English, faculty members from English departments, and other faculty members. Please, other faculty departments from other college, please stand up, please. Other college faculty members, I think, clap your hands for happy welcome, sir. Thank you. Faculty members from other department, please stand up. Faculty from other department, from COE, Zoology Department, and Physics Department, Computer Science, hearty welcome. A research scholar, dear students and participants from our college and other colleges, a very warm welcome to you all. It is with immense honor and joy that I stand before you as we inaugurate this international seminar on bridging the divide, cultural reconciliation in peace literature. This seminar is a reflection of our shared commitment of fostering academic dialogue and understanding, bringing to light the transformative role literature plays in healing divisions and promoting reconciliations. Literature is a mirror to society collective struggles and triumphs. It transcends geographic, cultural and political divides, offering a space where the voice of peace and reconciliation find expressions. As we navigate through an increasingly complex world, peace literature reminds us the power of empathy and the significance of listening to diverse narratives. I extend my deepest gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Jayapriya, Dr. Ganesh Kumar, and Dr. Chitra. Your scholarly contributions and dedication to the field of literature enrich our discussions, and we are eagerly look forward to the insights you will bring to this forum. We are eagerly waiting. We are waiting for your expertise. Please give your knowledge to the research scholar, faculty members, as well as students. This is the time we need it. A special word of appreciation to Dr. Patricia Alfie Nirmala, Head and Associate Professor of English, for her vision and guidance in sports heading this initiative. Congratulations for you. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Mrs. Mary Suba, the convener of this seminar, for their dedication and leadership. Congratulations, madam, because you took more effort for us. Mrs. Monica, the organizing secretary, whose tireless efforts have ensured the seamless execution of this event. I know that. Congratulations, Mr. The faculty and students of the Department of English have shown remarkable enthusiasm and commitment, and I commend each of you for your hard work in making this seminar a success. Please, all the students, clap your hands for English Department faculty members. Congratulations. To our dear participants, may this seminar provide you with new perspectives and inspire deeper engagement with the role of literature in fostering peace and cultural reconciliation. May the knowledge and experiences exchanged today leave a lasting impact on us all. Because you are listening today, this impact will sustain us for all times. Please listen carefully. If you will have any queries, ask the member. Then only you will get a knowledge. Use the time properly. Thank you, and may this seminar serve as a beacon of hope and unity in the pursuit of a more harmonious world. Thank you. God bless you, dears. Enjoy them.
Thank you, sister. The awaiting moment has arrived to relish the intellectual acumen through the inaugural address by Dr. Jayapriya, Dean Research, Director International Relations, Professor and Head Department of English and Foreign Languages, Mother Teresa Women's University, Kodaikanal, through her virtual presence.
Can I start? Yes, ma'am, of course. Very good morning to all of you. Please mute yourselves. It's echoing. Thank you. Respected Reverend Sister Dr. Fatima Mary Sylvia, Mother Superior, respected Secretary of Sensitive Institution, Reverend Sister Dr. R. Shantan Joshita, respected and beloved Principal, Reverend Sister Dr. S. Jeswani, Head of the Department, Dr. Patricia, the Coordinator and Organizer of this International Seminar, Dr. Mary Suva, and other plenary speakers, and the chief guest for this international conference. I wish you all a very healthy morning, and I offer my apologies first to you all that I couldn't meet you in person today, but still I did not want to refrain myself from talking to you people or meeting you all, and hence I requested to join online. Due to pressing academic works here, academic as well as the academic works, that I am unable to join you offline, and I'm I'm happy and it is a true honor for me to inaugurate and address you at this international seminar on bridging the divide, cultural reconciliation and in peace literature. Today we embark on a journey into the heart of literature that seeks to unite, heal and promote understanding. So literature has always been more than just an art form. It is a lens through which we can view the complexities of human life, a mirror reflecting our deepest fears, aspirations and truths. And it is a tool for healing, an avenue for dialogue and perhaps most importantly, a guide to peace. So in this modern world, the concept of peace is often idealized yet elusive. As we watch conflicts that unfold in various concerns of the world, peace might seem like a distant dream. However, peace is not simply the absence of war. It is a continuous, active process of understanding and reconciliation. So the peace literature in this context today becomes an essential tool in bridging divides that separate us, whether they be cultural, racial, historical or political. Today we reflect on how literature can be an agent for cultural reconciliation and what you call as the other pathways to a deeper or meaningful peace, we can say. So before delving deeper into what you call as the cultural reconciliation, let us pause for a moment to understand the unique power of literature, which I always say, the power of literature is something we need to celebrate. So throughout history, literature has acted as a beacon of both individual and collective transformation. So from the ancient epics to contemporary narratives, literature has shaped cultures, reflected social norms, and it has also challenged the oppressive systems. So it provides us with the ability to explore new worlds, understand unfamiliar perspectives, and connect to the shared humanity of others. So literature allows us to travel through time and space. It brings us into the lives of people who have actually suffered the most unimaginable hardships. People whose experiences we may never have known had it not been for the written word. So it allows us to understand the cultures, emotions and histories of individuals who are in some ways different from us. So and this very act of understanding is at the core of what you call as reconciliation. So by providing insights into the lives of people from various backgrounds, literature invites us into spaces of empathy and reflection. It opens doors for dialogue between communities that might otherwise remain estranged. So in this sense, this peace literature can be seen as a bridge which is connecting us to or connecting to each other and to the shared goal of healing, peace and unity, which is essential for us at this time. So these three words, healing, peace and unity. So this is what I'm just trying to dwell on today. So let me start with this cultural reconciliation. So this is particularly in the context of peace literature, we can say, and it is a complex and multi-dimensional concept. It goes beyond mere tolerance. It seeks mutual understanding, shared respect, and the restoration of trust. So it involves recognizing past wrongs, confronting the pain they have caused, and working towards a common future. But reconciliation does not come easily, especially when histories of violence, oppression and misunderstanding remain unresolved. So, peace literature provides us with a canvas to explore these themes by telling the stories of individuals and communities who have suffered from cultural or social divides. So, these works ask the hard questions and offer potential solutions. So, they encourage us to listen, to empathize, and to take responsibility for our roles in the broader narrative of conflict and healing. So, in this journey of reconciliation, literature does not ask for any easy solutions or simplistic portrayals. It actually challenges us to engage with the messiness of the human condition, the anger, pain, and distrust, but also with the possibilities of or possibilities for renewal, understanding, and peace. So literature provides us with the space to explore what it means to be human and how we, as individuals and communities, can begin to heal from the wounds of our past. So one of the most significant ways in which literature fosters cultural reconciliation is by cultivating empathy. So through the written word, we are introduced to characters from diverse cultures, ethnicities, and backgrounds. So these characters, they often face immense challenges, whether due to their race, or nationality, or gender, or societal status. So in following their journeys, we learn not only about the struggles, but also about their goals, dreams, and shared humanity. So empathy is essential to the process of reconciliation. So without the ability to put ourselves in another's shoes, we cannot fully understand their pain or appreciate the complexity of their experiences. So this peace literature opens up these pathways of empathy through novels, poems, plays, and stories. We are invited to see the world from the perspective of others. So sometimes what happens in deeply personal and transformative ways. So consider the works of Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, whose novels such as Half of Emerson and Americana, they explore the complexities of post-colonial Nigeria and the immigrant experience. So through her rich, multifaceted characters, we see Adichie creates a world where empathy is not just a moral idea, but a lived experience. So we are invited to understand not only the pain of culture, the cultural conflict, but also the potential for healing through empathy and mutual understanding. So this particular empathy is not limited to fictional stories. It extends into our real world interactions. When we learn to empathize with the experiences of others, particularly those who have been marginalized, we actually open ourselves to the possibility of change. We are more likely to seek out dialogue, to approach others with respect, and to engage in actions that foster peace and healing. So another crucial element in cultural reconciliation is forgiveness. So the ability to forgive is deeply embedded in many peace narratives, whether in form of personal healing or social reconciliation. So forgiveness is not an easy act. It often requires tremendous strength, courage, and vulnerability. It is not about forgetting the past or excusing the harm that has been done. It is about choosing not to be bound by pain and anger that may otherwise perpetuate the cycles of violence and division. So, this peace literature, it often grapples with the difficult act of forgiveness. So in many stories, we encounter characters who have experienced profound loss and trauma. Yet, through acts of forgiveness, they begin to rebuild relationship and heal the wounds of the past, which is very, very essential at this point of time and which we all need to know. So, this theme that we see in peace literature is particularly prominent in post-conflict literature. So, where the process of forgiving is central to the reconstruction of society, which is very, very essential for the society to reconstruct itself and for a human to rebuild himself or herself. So, one powerful example of forgiveness in literature can be found in the works of South African writers like J.M. Kingsley and Nadine Gordimer, I would say. So, in their portrayals of this post-apartheid South Africa, these authors show how forgiveness becomes a critical step in moving forward from the brutalities of the past. Their characters must confront the legacies of injustice and violence. And in doing so, they are given a kind of chance to reconcile with both their personal histories and the fractured communities around them. So by engaging with these stories of such writers, what happens is we gain insight into the power of forgiveness. I repeat, we gain an insight into the power of forgiveness, not as an act of passive submission. It shouldn't be an act of passive submission, but as an active force for positive change. It should be an active force for a positive change, and it is through forgiveness that we can rebuild, repair, and move beyond the divisions of the past. So, and another important concept which is explored in peace literature is restorative justice. So, this restorative justice, it focuses on repairing harm and restoring relationships rather than punishing the wrongdoers. So this form of justice, it emphasizes accountability, reconciliation, and the restoration of social bonds rather than vengeance. So this peace literature provides a powerful vehicle for exploring restorative justice. So characters in these stories, they often engage in difficult conversations. They seek accountability and they work toward healing the fractured relationship. So these narratives, they show us that justice is not just about what you call as the retribution, but about restoring dignity and humanity to all people. So this restorative justice is closely linked to dialogue, the essential tool for achieving cultural reconciliation. So dialogue allows individuals and communities to address past wrongs, what you call as the voice grievances, and they seek actually mutual understanding. So in literature, dialogue is often the means through which characters begin to heal and rebuild relationships. So it is through dialogue that the healing process it begins, allowing individuals to confront their shared history and you chart the path forward through this restorative justice. So the idea of restorative justice is not merely theoretical. I repeat, it is not merely theoretical. It has real-world applications in contexts such as truth and reconciliation commissions actually. So where the former enemies are given a platform to speak, to listen and engage in a difficult but necessary work of healing. So what is important here is the process of healing, right? So restorative justice it has a real world application. So as we come to the end of this kind of exploration into the power of peace literature, I just want to leave you with one undeniable truth. Literature, in its most powerful form, is the heartbeat of humanity. I hope you all will agree to this. It is the gentle whisper that invites us to reflect, the loud cry that calls us to act, and the embrace that unites us in our shared struggles and victories. So through the pages of a book, we can travel to places we have never been, meet people we have never met, and understand experiences we may never have known. So reading this gives us so much of joy, and it makes us understand people, and it makes us, to travel to various places that we have never been. So in all these stories, all these novels or poems, whatever form of literature, we find not just words, but emotions that resonate deep within us. So we discover that at the core of all our differences, there is a universal desire for peace, love, and connection. So this peace literature doesn't just show us a world that we be. It ignites the flame in each of us to create that world ourselves. So we create our own world here. It teaches us that healing can happen, that reconciliation is possible, and that we as individuals have no power to make a difference, no matter how small our steps may seem. So this is what it teaches us, right? So the beauty of this particular journey is that it is not bound by time or place. It is ongoing and ever expanding. Every book that we read, every conversation that we have, every connection that we make with someone from a different culture, ethnicity or background is a small but a vital piece of the puzzle of reconciliation. This is what we need to understand. And we may not always see the immediate impact of our efforts, but the ripples that we create spread far and wide, touching hearts and minds in ways we may never fully understand. So this is one simple point that we all need to understand today. So let us embrace the joy and responsibility of being active participants in this beautiful shared story of humanity. Let us remember that the quest for peace is not about perfection, but only about the progress that we are going to make. It is about opening our hearts to the experiences of others, about celebrating our differences while finding strength in our commonalities. So it is about fostering a world where every voice is heard, every culture is respected, and every individual is valued. So with this note, I'm happy to inaugurate this international conference, and I congratulate each and everyone behind this conference, and my best wishes to the Department of English for having taken a great effort to bring in this kind of conference to the community, to the students, to everyone in this world who needs to know the ultimate importance that we need in this world is just peace. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for enthralling us with the dimensions of literature as a healing device which requires to be celebrated. I request our enthusiastic secretary, Reverend Dr. Shanta Mary Joshita, to reverberate the indispensable requirement for harmony through her felicitation address.
Esteemed Chief Guest, Dr. P. J. Priya, Dean of Research, Director of International Studies, and Professor and Head Department of English and Foreign Languages, Mother Teresa Women's University, Kodaikanal, and other dignitaries of the dais, respected Principal, Mother Superiors, Dr. Sylvia, and the Head of the Department, Dr. Patricia, Convener of the International Seminar, Dr. Mrs. Organizing Secretary Mrs. A. Monica, and other delegates from other institutions and our dear students. A warm good morning to one and all present here. It is an immense honor for me to be here today to this distinguished international seminar on Bridging the Divide, Cultural Reconciliation in Peace Literature. This is the gathering of brilliant minds from diverse cultural backgrounds is a testament to the power of this literature as a transformative tool for fostering understanding, peace, and also reconciliation. Today, a world where conflicts seems to be persist across borders, whether they are political, ethnic, religious, or ideological. The role of literature in building bridges of understanding and healing cannot be overshadowed. It is through the written word that we can explore the complexities of human experiences, comfort our shared histories of conflict, and envision the world where dialogue and mutual respect triumph over division and also violence. The theme of this seminar, Bridging the Divide, is both literally and deeply relevant to the world where the whole world is afraid of the Third World War. They seem to be interconnected in technological yet fragmented in heart. The concept of cultural reconciliation in peace literature speaks the need of empathy, compassion, and open-hearted willingness to understand other, whether the other can be of an individual, a community, or a whole nation. Through peace literature, authors have long served as ambassadors of reconciliation. These literary works inspire us to raise above all sort of differences, to come over together in understanding and to embrace our shared humanity. As we delve into discussion during this seminar, I am confident that we will uncover many insights into how literature can act as a medium between fragmented societies, helping us to overlook beyond the barriers of race, religion, and nationality. As we embark this academic journey together over the course of this seminar, let us engage in a meaningful conversation, challenge our perceptions, and most importantly, listen to the diverse ideology of the different speakers of today. I conclude, I want to express my deepest gratitude and congratulations to all the speakers and participants of this international seminar who have come together to make this seminar a reality. I am confident that the discussion, research presentations, and dialogues we share together today will inspire us new ideology which will help us to build the community as one world. So I wish you all success and meaningful deliberations today. Thank you, one and all present here. God bless you all.
Thank you, sister, for your vivid deliberation on bridging the gap. I request our beloved Mother Superior, Reverend Dr. Fatima Mary Sylvia, to disseminate the diverse rhythms of peace.
A peaceful morning to all. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. These profound words of Saint Francis of Assisi serve as a guiding principle of today's program. To the peace-building hearts gathered here, respected Principal Reverend Sister S.A. Surani, respected Secretary Dr. Sister R. Santa Mary Josita, the esteemed speakers, the head of the department, professors, scholars, and participants from our JAC and from other institutions. I wish you all peace-inspiring day. It is my immense pleasure to stand before you to felicitate this August gathering on the occasion of the International Seminar on Bridging the Divine. I wish you all a pleasant and a peaceful day. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to Dr. T. Patricia, Head of the Department, Mrs. B. Mary Spa, the Convener, Mrs. A. Monica, the Organizing Secretary of the International Seminar, and all the professors of the PG Department of English for selecting such a vital theme and organizing this international seminar in a meticulous manner. The theme of today's seminar, Cultural Reconciliation, serves as a bridge that connects diverse identities, paving the way for peace and understanding. As the great Nelson Mandela reminded us, if you want to make peace with your enemies, you have to work with your enemies. Then he becomes your partner. Through literature, we explore human lives, break down barriers, and build relationships that transcend conflicts, blossoming into peace and love. Finally, I wholeheartedly commend the renowned speakers, organizers, and participants for their dedication and effort in making this seminar a grand success. May the deliberations, ideas generated here inspire peace and harmony in every walk of life. I wish the seminar a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, dear sister, for your valuable insights on the significance of peace. We remember the God of infinite riches at this juncture. I request Mrs. Mary Shiva, the convener of this international seminar, to deliver a note of thanks.
Whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God, the Father, through you. Respected dignitaries, distinguished speakers, esteemed guests, faculty members, and dear students, a pleasant morning to you all. It is my honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this prestigious international seminar on Bridging the Divide, Cultural Reconciliation in Peace Literature. Today has been an inspiring journey through the realms of peace literature, a journey that illuminates the pathways of empathy, forgiveness, and coexistence. First and foremost, I want to thank the Almighty God who has been our guiding light and source of strength throughout this event. It is through His grace and blessings that we have successfully brought together this meaningful seminar. As it is written in the scriptures, in everything give thanks, for this bless among us, for his wisdom that inspired our deliberations, and for his love that unites us one family. It is with heart full of gratitude that I extend my deepest thanks to our esteemed principal, Reverend Sister Dr. S. Jesrani, for her unwavering support, guidance and blessings that have made this seminar a resounding success. Dear sister, your visionary leadership and tireless dedication and fostering academic excellence and holistic development have been an inspiration to all of us. Your encouragement and prayers have provided us with the strength and motivation to strive for greater heights. Thank you, sister. With profound gratitude and respect, I take this opportunity to thank our secretary, Reverend Sister Dr. Shanda Mary Joshita, for her valuable contributions and blessings that have been instrumental in the success of this seminar. Dear sister, your unwavering dedication and vision have been a source of strength and encouragement for all of us. Your tireless efforts to uphold the mission of this institution and your commitment to fostering academic excellence and moral values have inspired us deeply. Thank you, dear sister. My heart filled with great joy to thank our Mother Superior, Reverend Sister Dr. Fatima Mary Sylvia, whose prayers made our activities a great success. We are immensely grateful for your guidance and support, which have made this event a seamless and memorable experience. Your presence here today reflects your dedication to the holistic growth of this institution and its community. On behalf of everyone present here, I extend our heartfelt thanks to your prayers, leadership, and the love and care you extend to all. Thank you, sister. It is my privilege and honor to extend heartfelt thanks to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Chitra, Assistant Professor and Program Leader of English, Department of Arts and Humanities, Films College, Royal University of Bhutan, for her profound insights and expertise with us today. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, the mind, once stretched by a new idea, never returned to its original dimensions. Your enlightening session will stretch our minds, broadening our perspectives on peace literature and inspiring us to think critically and creatively. Your thoughtful discourse has exemplified the words of Maya Angelou: when you learn, teach. When you get, you. You have not only shared your vast knowledge, but also ready to inspire us with your passion for the subject, igniting the spark for further exploration and learning in all of us. On behalf of the organizing committee, faculties and students, we express our deepest gratitude for taking the time to enrich our seminar with your invaluable contributions. As we move forward, let us remember the words of T.S. Eliot: every moment is a fresh beginning. Thank you, ma'am. We look forward to more opportunities to learn from you in the future. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. It is my immense pleasure to thank my resource person, Dr. Pranesh, Professor of English, Stella Maris College of Engineering, for gracing the event with esteemed presence and invaluable contributions. William Shakespeare once said, I can no other answer make but thanks. And thanks, and ever thanks. Your presence here has elevated the seminar, making it truly memorable. Stoney said, a thing of beauty is joy forever. Your contributions have indeed added beauty to this event, and we shall cherish it always. Thank you once again, and may you continue to inspire many more with the leadership and vision. Next, I register my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Patricia Alfred Nirmala, our Head and Associate Professor of English, for her dedication and meticulous planning have been the backbone of this seminar. Thank you, ma'am. My sincere thanks goes to all the faculty members from various colleges and Dr. Melvin from Bishop Weaver College and other participants, faculty and students from Haji.
I thank all the heads of the various departments who are present here for this inaugural function. Now it's time to break for the refreshment. So So after the refreshment, there will be session 1. Dr. Chitra, Assistant Professor and Program Leader, Royal University of Bhutan. She will be talking about manifestation of conflict, resolution for harmony in the literary works, and the first session will be chaired by Dr. Angelin Sorna, Assistant Professor of English.
Now we are having group photo session. Dear students, from our students and other side participants, please come to the open auditorium. Thank you.
They can't leave the message to the
session is chaired by Dr. Angelin Sorna, Assistant Professor of English. And we have the guest speaker, Dr. Chitra, Assistant Professor and Program Leader, Royal University of Bhutan. I request Dr. Angelin Sorna to introduce the speaker to us.
Good morning to all. It's my great pleasure to introduce our distinguished resource person, Dr. S. Chitra, an accomplished academic, researcher and educator. Dr. Chitra serves as an assistant professor of English at Serupse College, Royal University of Bhutan. For over 2 decades of teaching experience, with over 2 decades of teaching experience, she has established herself as a highly skilled professor in English literature, language, curriculum design and research mentorship. Dr. Chitra's areas of scholarly interests are both diverse and profound, spanning cultural studies, post-colonial literature, European literature, gender studies, to name a few. A seasoned academic and prolific researcher, Dr. Chitra has completed funded research projects, contributed to over 50 research articles in book chapters, journals and conference volumes, and has presented more than 60 papers in international and national conferences. She has also authored a book and co-edited impactful works, further establishing her reputation as a thought leader in her field. Beyond her scholarly contributions, Dr. Chitra is a vibrant and multi-talented individual. Through storytelling sessions, she has championed the preservation of folk traditions, and her marvelous creativity shines through in her direction of award-winning theatrical productions, including a celebrated rendition of Macbeth. Dr. Chitra's influence extends well beyond the university corridors. She has served as an overseas examiner for many doctoral theses, served as the member of Board of Studies, editorial board member for international journals and many more. Her stature as a keynote speaker and resource person at global forums speaks volume about her caliber and expertise. It is truly an honor to have her with us today, and I warmly welcome Dr. Chitra to share her insights on the topic manifestations of conflict resolution in harmony in literary works. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Chitra. Now the session is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Angelin, for making my little contribution to academia extraordinary. It sounds brilliant to my ears. Is it me who we are talking about? Such a pleasant introduction. Thank you for that. From the moment I entered this campus, at every stage, Madam HOD received me very warmly, and she took me to principal's office. From then on, the small tour that I have taken through your campus has really enriched my experience. It is energizing me at every moment. And when I was interacting with your principal madam, the amazing energy and the vibrancy that she is instilling in others, it is so enthusiastic and it is contagious, I should say. It's touching on everyone. And you're all fortunate to experience this atmosphere and live through this experience every moment of every day with abundance in your lives flowing through all of you. You're really blessed to be in this institution, and I consider myself equally blessed today to make a mark by visiting this remarkable institution that's doing so much for women empowerment. We have been talking about
the time when this institution was established, at that time how this region was and what kind of contribution this group of institution is making. It is impacting, it's creating an impact on everyone's life. Every individual is getting shaped. So that's what academics is, and that's what I believe personally, being a teacher, being a professor in this profession. So this makes me tremendously happy. Though in absentia, distinguished Honorable Madam Principal, Secretary, and Mother Superior, and the members of the PG Department of English, thank you for organizing such a wonderful seminar. I owe my gratitude to Madam HOD and Mary Suba, the convener of the seminar, who is in touch with me, and she is communicating from the inception of this idea, and to the organizing secretary and the whole team of your department. It is, I understand the efforts, the tremendous efforts that you all have put in to organize this seminar in the beginning of a year. So that's a beautiful note, and may the success of this conference pave way for many more brilliant academic pursuits throughout this year and for the days to come. With this opening wish and prayer, so let me begin my keynote session. To briefly introduce my career, I am from Tamil Nadu. I have completed my education from University of Madras, but then I had the opportunity to serve in Bhutan through Delhi University, because earlier it was a foreign campus of Delhi University. Then we established our own university in Bhutan and called it as Royal University of Bhutan. This is how the university was established, and we developed our courses. And I was in the curriculum framework development, and then a lot of changes every time, a lot of revisions and new developments. This is how we are moving through, and that made my career more inspiring and influencing, and I decided to stay there. And this theme, the theme of this conference, Cultural Reconciliation in Peace Literature, actually I lived through that. Not the part of cultural reconciliation, but peace. It is a very harmonious and a peaceful place. As a neighbor of India, Indo-Bhutan relationship is also very strong, and it is a time-tested relationship since times immemorial through political, social and cultural exchanges. I would just walk you through the place. Since I am from Bhutan, I want you to know something about the place where I come from. This is the idea I had initially, and this idea was reiterated by Madam Principal. So, first few minutes I would spend with you, walking you through a journey, and this is titled as Bhutan at a Glance. Okay. Are you all interested to know something new? Please feel free. You can have your questions, and after I end my talk, we can interact. So that's what this academic discourse is all about. Yeah. I have given a subtitle to this topic. This is called the GNH Nation. So what is this GNH? Why it is abbreviated? The nation is known for a particular concept, a philosophical idea and a philosophical concept. When I say philosophy, no, it's far away from life. It is not practical. That's what we feel. But this is a practical philosophy that is applicable in governing the nation and in living the lives. People live their lives through this philosophical framework. It is known as gross national happiness. So this is a pictorial introduction that I give. This is a very small nation, so you can see the map of Bhutan. by day, moment by moment. And on the other hand, China, that is a hugely populated country. That's why between these two enormously populated nations, this tiny Himalayan kingdom is nestled in the Himalayan range. So the population is just 8 lakh. 7.5 to 8 lakh, and that too these days most of them are migrating to Australia because their greener pasture is in Australia, and most of the educated people are moving to Australia in search of better jobs and lucrative salary. Okay? This is the current picture of this nation, and you can see the king and the queen. The king, the center picture holds the king. He is the current 5th king of the nation. It had been a monarchic rule. It is a kingdom. That's why it's known as a Himalayan kingdom. And now it comes to 5th king. This is called Druk-Yul, the kingdom of Druk-Yul, known as Thunder Dragon. So Thunder Dragon is the imagery with which this nation is described and defined. And she is the queen. He is just 45-year-old king. A very vibrant personality who dreams big for his nation, and he is trying to bring local and global ideas together. Globalization is happening, and he is taking huge measures and steps for the economic growth of this nation in the modern days. And you can see the dress. Okay, we wear sari, that's our traditional dress. And Bhutan has a typical national dress. And the dress for men is like the skirts in Switzerland. It is known as Go, not G-O, G-H-O. Okay, this dress is known as Go. It will be only knee length for men. They won't be using pant shirt or a coat suit, which is very common. This is their national dress. In this wear, they come to the office. And women look very elegant in their national dress. That's known as Kira, which is hand-woven. The thread, using silk thread, everything is, weaving industry is very vibrant. That is their traditional industry. And even today, weaving and handloom, every house will have that weaving, knitting tools, and women knit their own dress. And it is a heavy cotton. Using threads, they make a lot of designs, and this pattern make them look very elegant, and this is the complete formal dress for men and women in their country, going hand in hand, without conflict, without any clash. So this is famously known as the land of Thunder Dragon. I gave you a good introduction about it, but if I walk you through the history, just for a few minutes, it had a theocratic history. Before Buddhism, the religion was Buddhism. Then Saint Padmasambhava from India, he is a guru who visited Bhutan through Tibet, because Tibetan Buddhism influenced this country, and this is how Lama and Guru and all the saints established their religious practices in the country, and then the religious transition happened from Monism to Buddhism. And monasteries were built for twin purposes, as I told you. It is like a fortress, so that it can protect the country from enemies, as well as it will be a religious place of worship. These became the provincial center for religious activity and governance. These two things will not go together most of the times in many countries, but here the beauty lies in bringing them together. This itself is the first step for peace and harmony in the nation. Next one. I will give you a glimpse of the history of this country. When I say it is a peaceful nation, a question might ring in your mind. So how can a nation be completely peaceful? As students of literature, we believe in binaries. Where there is good, there will be evil. Binary opposition is what makes life. So we have both in us. Always there is a conflict, a tug of war between good and evil within us. So binary as a post-colonial scholar, I do believe in the binary of opposition. That's how we know the good things. To know what is good, we should also know what is evil. What is oppression? If we want to know the oppressor and the oppressed, we should study the relation between the two. As a colonial country, we should know the difference between colonizer and colonized. This is how literature is made of binaries, and this is how human life is also made of binaries. Applying this binary thinking to this history, I could say this nation is not free from conflict. If we turn through the pages of history through this work known as the ballad, it is a song that narrates the story of a warrior who went to protect his region when it was under lordship. There was no king in the 18th century in Bhutan. It was divided into several provinces, and they are known as fiefdoms, ruled by generals. And these generals always have conflict, and they want to conquer the other's boundary and extend their vision. So this kind of battles ensue. And that's why, and basing on this historical event, this ballad was composed in the 20th century. Let me read that for you. The command of Songpen. Songpen is a rank, and the name is Angrutli. To dismiss it is as dear as gold. There is a command to a major that he should lead the army in that battle. It is a regional battle, a kind of civil war. The commandment asked a military rank holding senior officer to hold the regiment. He should lead the regiment. So there is a conflict within him, whether to accept it or dismiss it. So this is how the conflict is expressed by the leader. He says, to dismiss it is as dear as gold, because such an opportunity won't come again. To carry it out, to hold that responsibility is as heavy as the hills. It is going to be an enormous task. Was that I should go to support the war? Should I lead my battalion to support the war? And the hope for reinforcement was pinned on me. My battalion depends on my leadership to lead me and to bring victory and laurels. Now all must go. Yes, there is no choice. Finally he says all of us must go and all should go. When he says should go, he is taking his command and he is getting ready mentally first to lead the army to the forefront. So this depicts the power struggle. This kind of song depicts the power struggle between regional leaders known as Zongpens over fiefdoms. So this is an example. This is the literary evidence for you, a history-based literary evidence to show conflict is what brings peace. Conflict acts as a trigger. It triggers you. It moves you out of your complacency to act. When there is a jerk, there is a new thinking in us. Otherwise, we will just sit back, relax, and we won't go for new opportunities. When there is a slight trigger through conflict in our lives, we have to change our direction, and that could lead to growth. So this is what happens to this commander. So this kind of conflict, you can see the battle, the pictures of the battle and the leaders happening. That conflict gave rise to the birth of monarchy for Bhutan. Because every conflict has an outcome, has a resolution. That's the theme I'm going to talk about. And this introduction is not away from that theme. So when I say conflict, conflict would lead to resolution. And that's what happened in the history of Bhutan. All the differences that they had became united and they could fortify themselves. They could unite themselves politically, and that resulted in the birth of monarchy with the first king, who was the Chamberlain of Bhutan, and then became the first king. It became the kingdom of Himalayan kingdom. Kingdom of Bhutan, and the Wangchuck dynasty came into existence. Yeah, next. So from then on, since the early 20th century, sovereignty, independence became important for Bhutan. I told you the geographical location of Bhutan. By that geographical location, you can understand how volatile the country's position is. It is a very strategic location. So on the one hand, Tibet and China is pressurizing to occupy few territories in the border. So recently we were talking about Doklam issue. In newspapers you might have read about Doklam, okay, how China is engrossing the territories. So that pressure on the one side, and then the chicken neck in the northeast India, that's on the other side, and the closely populated Indian borders. So this gives a lot of pressure, and it's a quite a strategic location for these countries, for Nepal. Their identity for anyone, and they build their ideas and concepts and keep it as unique for the world to recognize them. So these are the principles that frame the culture of this country by making it unique. You can see these things mentioned by a character in one of the texts. They say, Sa Wa Su. That means you have to serve your king first. This is the loyalty of every citizen, serving the king, serving the country, and then serving the people. This kind of philosophy is there till today, and they believe in 3 gems. These are the 3 pillars and the 3 gems to which every citizen is inclined toward. They believe in their king. They believe whatever the king does for them is for their welfare, and they believe in the progress of their country. So there is a collective contribution toward the progress of the nation. That's the reason for GNH. This is called gross national happiness. It is not about individual's happiness. It is about the gross, the collective efforts of the citizens to attain happiness at a national level. As a nation, how each and every citizen in the country can be happy. So they are contributing to the country, and they get happiness, social security and stability in return through the governance of their king, who is a visionary thinking man. He thinks for the future of the nation. In 2050, how it's going to be. So he is a thought leader, a future leader, a visionary who works tirelessly for the welfare of the citizens. So they believe in him. They believe in their national identity and in their uniqueness, starting with their dress. So no one will take the dress for granted. Though I have shown you the picture, that is just an awareness that writers are trying to create, that we should not reduce our culture. They are cautioning the people about cultural reductionism, which should be avoided. But culture is intact. So this is one way to preserve the identity of the citizens in the country as Bhutanese nationals. Who is a Bhutanese? What will define the Bhutanese identity? It starts from their dress and moves to the cuisine and moves to their religion and their value system. So this is also part of their value system. As a people, there is community cohesion, that they remain one. One nation, one people is another concept by which they live. So differences will be there, but these differences are very healthy differences and healthy competition. But when it comes to a large-scale decision making, the nation will stand one by their leader. There won't be controversies. They will stand united for the sake of their welfare. So that's the one I want to share. Yeah, this is how social stratification was experienced by the country from 17th to 19th politics. Being a Buddhist nation, it had monastic order, then local aristocracies were there, and these differences were sorted out through social reforms, and the serfdom, landlords and the farmers and the tenant farmers, this kind of social system and a kind of oppression was there, that was removed, and there was no caste or class differences, and this made the country equanimity. There was a cultural equanimity, and this is how development plans, every 5-year development plans were made for the nation to progress. This stands as an evidence for social order that has been established with harmony and also social change toward progress. Okay, how this can be achieved? Here, I will give you two important concepts. One is the GNH philosophy. Okay? It emphasizes on certain pillars. First one is good governance. Yeah, the governance, we expect everything from the government. So how the governance should be? The governance should be for the welfare of the people. So good governance is one strong pillar. Then comes sustainable and equitable socio-economic development. How the socio-economic development should be there? Not the development should not bring inequalities. Today in modern times, development brings a lot of social inequities and inequalities in the name of class, in the name of socio-economic differences and political differences. This is how the haves and the have-nots, the gap between them becomes unbridgeable. But here, the development is towards sustainability. We also talk about the environment today. So what is the need to talk about environment? Because we have spoiled the planet. We have exploited the economic resources and we have exploited the environmental resources to the maximum. Your campus, I was happy to know that it was a green campus. It is a green campus and fertilizers are not used. See, it's wonderful to know. This is how whole of Tamil Nadu had been at one point of time. But now it is becoming a concrete jungle. So who created this? We humans are responsible for this and we now want to change everything. So development, when it happens, this country is fortunate. Bhutan is fortunate because it's developing late. Late development is also, in one way, it's a blessing in disguise because you can see the sufferings of the world, the wrong things that the world is doing so that you can chart your path differently. Yeah, no, I don't want to follow this path. It is a mad rat race. It's a mad development that's happening. I don't want to go this way. I will carve a niche for myself. A development path that can have sustainability, that can have socio-economic development together. Social plus economic growth go together with happiness and without compromising peace. So this is the lesson that they have learned from the world and they are implementing that in every policy making decisions for sustainability. Anything that they do, they look at the sustainable value of it and community engagement towards it. How the community can be involved. It is mandatory for our college to engage in community service. So we ask our students to help the local farmers during harvest. Every department, they can plan in their own way to engage students in some sort of community activities, not only through clubs, but as forums. Every department might have forums. Through the forums and through Cyber Forum can do. Cyber Forum is not only about computers and related activities, it can do something related to community. This is not only for students, it's for faculty members also. We educate the community members about domestic violence. There is an organization known as RENEW, which is for women's rights and women's empowerment. So if there is domestic violence, if there are women-related issues, even menstrual hygiene. So we try to inculcate and educate these things to the villagers by going to the village, by doing a short mono acting or a script, or simply by talking and showing things. We exchange, we ask their problems, and we try to give them some solution that's user-friendly. So these are some of the activities that can have impact on the society. It can build a strong relation between academia and community, and sustainability is taken care of. Next comes preservation and promotion of cultural values. I spoke about previously. Cultural values are preserved and it is continually promoted irrespective of the modern influences and the advent of internet and globalization. This has huge impact, no doubt about it. Needless to say, these impacts are kept in check by every level, by the officers at every level, so that any function, any religious function or any holidays, they come together and they celebrate by singing songs, dancing. We have beautiful dances where we all make a round, we join hands and we dance. They sing and dance. It is not that you play the music and dance. You yourself sing and dance. So this kind of activities are very common that takes care of cultural preservation and cultural promotion of values. So this is one important pillar for GNH. Then conservation of natural environment. I have not used fan except in the borders which are close to India where the climatic condition is hot. In high altitude places you can't see fan. There is no need of fan because it is room temperature is AC. It is 23 degree, 24, 20 degree like that, always cool. So fans are not used. You can imagine the natural atmosphere. Everywhere it is green, fortified by tall mountains which make you feel very secure. It protects the country and every individual also feels secure because safety and security is taken care of and people are so friendly and innocent that I don't have to lock my office by leaving my things. I can just leave my laptop, leave my mobile, everything, and I can just walk off for hours together. I can just close my room and go. Even if it is open, nobody will walk in and take away my things. So that much of security we can experience, not only in campus, everywhere we can experience this. Here we have to be cautious about luggage during travel. So there, if I have to book the room by climbing 2 stories to reach the reception, I can leave my things down in the car park. I can just go have a word with the receptionist, book and come back and get my luggage. It will be there. I don't have to tell anyone, take care of this. It will be taken care of. So this is the social security system. And the forest cover is always 70%, 73% by government norm. But we chop wood during winter. Now it's very cold there. So wood is used to warm the living area of the house. Apart from that, fossil fuel is used, but it is a carbon negative country, carbon neutral. Only the carbon from India and China will enter. No air pollution. Pollution is zero. The place where I am, it is zero pollution. See, these are the things that are mandatory for our health. So if we are in pure oxygen, if we inhale pure oxygen, and if we drink good water, see in our place, see how water is commercialized. If we have good water and good air, then half the well is taken care of. Half of the health is taken care of. We can cross the well easily That's the secret of happiness also. For me, GMH, these are important. That's why natural environment is concerned. It's given huge importance in every conference, in every discussion, in every policy making. All these are taken into account. So these are the pillars that you can keep in mind. Culture, environment, socio-economic development and equitable development, then governance. All these are the parameters to measure the index of happiness. This is further applied in education. So we are here for a conference for the purpose of education. So I am connecting. I am connecting it with your book. It is a non-fiction book. It is known as My Green School. You can observe the title of the book by the red font that I have given. It is a very slim copy. It is called an outline. Okay? It is a proposal. This was published by a teacher who had been the first education minister of Democratic Bhutan also. This was published in 2014, and this idea of Green School, in correspondence with GMH, it came to be known as Educating for GMH. So GMH will not happen. It's not a magic wand. Everyone needs to be educated to follow certain principles in life, so that the collective efforts of the citizens can materialize this vision for the country and it can take the country forward. So this is how social order and social change go hand in hand and they move parallel for the country to realize its goals in every walk of life. So this book talks about holistic education, wholesome education. Education is not only for job purposes. It is not just to get the degree, attend interview, and I have to be placed, I have to get a good salary. So that's the be-all and the end-all of education, which becomes the drive in the modern world. But here, this book talks about a different approach toward education. It's trying to enhance the idea of holistic education in the sense every individual who is educated should be a wholesome personality. If I'm proud to say I am literate, I am an educated person, I should be a holistic person. I should have a complete personality, not just the degree. The attitude and the aptitude must be balanced. So this is the wholesome personality that every individual should be, is the outcome of holistic education that this book talks about. So these are the 8 cardinal elements of Green School through which this vision of holistic education is achieved. See, every parameter is given importance, and these are the 8 components of Green School. And today we talk about sustainability education, we talk about greening education. So the names are different, but the core idea of all these education systems are same. So this idea is the root and the pillar of sustainability as well as the pillar of greening education toward which academia is moving from now on during the 21st century. This is in the form of a mandala. Okay? So it is given a name, Sherik Mandala, because the arrangement is in concentric circle. It goes round and round, and then from the periphery it comes to the center. It's not that you are moving from the center to the periphery. Sometimes that happens. We are moving away from our roots in the name exchange and the ideas, the discourse that we are having here should inculcate new thoughts and new ideas. That's my belief. Wherever I go, I give something new to my audience to mull over and to make it some part of it in their life, to adopt it in their life. So if you look at these 8 vital elements, you can see that we have come far away from these 8 elements in the name of education. But if we adopt these principles, this is what greening education and sustainable education is moving towards in this century. By talking about physical greenery, we have destroyed the trees. Now we want to replant and make our environment green and clean. So natural greenery is the first and foremost necessity, and it's a primary requirement for a campus to make our mind fresh when we enter the campus. So environment schools are becoming popular these days. Next comes social greenery. When we enter into a campus, yes, physical infrastructure is one thing, and then we are going to meet people. We are going to interact constantly with ideas, with fellow human beings. So this social interaction is another kind of greenery, and society and individuals meet and greet and interact, and this is how social harmony can be created through exchange of ideas and through academia and community engagement. Next comes cultural, the diverse cultural practices, as well as rooting oneself in one's culture and then diversifying to celebrate the differences in other cultures brings the idea of cultural greenery in place. Then comes intellectual. Yeah, that's what academic institutions and their goals are. So this intellectual greenery should open the minds. It should not make the students bookworms or just internet citizens, netizens. They are not just netizens, keep on listening to videos and keep on skipping the shorts and reels, and that's going to disturb us at the end of the day. By watching others, we feel my life is not like that. Even if we don't think it, it has an impact, isn't it? It leaves us disturbed, it leaves us looking out for things that are not affordable for us. So this kind of differences it creates and it disturbs our peace. So that can be reduced when our minds are open to explore many new things in a positive way for positive development. So that is intellectual greenery. Next comes academic greenery, where the students are given freedom. They are given freedom and liberty to experience different activities in the name of academics. So that's going to open the minds of the students to new ventures. Aesthetic. In anything that you do, beauty, grace and beauty makes things more easy and it develops one's personality. So this kind of aesthetics is also taken into education. Then spiritual. Obviously, spiritual and moral are going to be the pillars. So spiritual greenery and moral greenery are the founding pillars of this green school. So this can make a person holistic, wholesome and a complete personality. When someone has completed education, he will be a good person and a good individual with all the essential qualities to be a human being. That's the ultimate aim of education, isn't it? Not paper picking, not just knowledge, but how we interact with others, how we take the challenges in life, and how we progress in life. So you are ready, you are not just job ready, you are life ready. You are ready to lead life. Because life throws many challenges in every way. We can't chart out, this is how my life is going to be. Many unforeseen challenges are present before us. So that's why we say student days are so beautiful, carefree. So you can enjoy your life, at the same time you can build your foundation for your life ahead. To face all the pressures of life, challenges in your workplace, challenges in relationship, conflicts in relationship, everything can be tackled because your mind is free from the hassles, it is peaceful, it's very focused, and it makes you a mature individual. So that maturity makes one independent and successful. So I took a very long time to decide about my life. But when I look at my would-be students, I still wonder, they make life decisions just at the end of the graduation itself. They decide everything and they write some government exams, civil service exams, they get settled. So most of my students also, PG students, have had kids. They are married, they have kids because they make their decisions in a very simple manner. There is no complication in it. Very simple and easy-going decisions, and they live their life, to put it simply, without complicating it. That's also one of the reasons for happiness. Sometimes the framework is too big. The cultural norms are too big, so we lose the essence of life. So there the norms are simple, but the essence of life is the core idea which they try to live practically. So this is the difference I have observed because I have been switching borders. So I'm eligible to say this, having experienced this side and the other side, not just on the land, but I have swim through both the cultures. So this is the noticeable difference and good practices that I have observed for us to emulate, to be happy, peaceful and prosperous in this new year, and many more academic ventures that you have to enter in your life. With peace, peace from within can bring peace to others. This is what the inaugural address Adam talked about from Kodaikanal Mother Teresa University. Adam spoke about reconciliation. So I am talking about this kind of reconciliation that is present in a culture. Harmonious culture, not without conflict, but then how it is resolved to bring harmony and to perpetuate that harmony by making it part of your system. Harmony is not just attending meditation classes. Yeah, Buddhism is known for meditation, but how to make it your life way, your way of life, because that's what culture studies talk about. Culture is nothing but a way of life, isn't it? So this has become a way of life which can be imbibed by others for peace, happiness and prosperity. So I think I have connected this with my team. So should I stop here? Because I also had this plan. According to the taste of the audience, whether you want literature means I can give. If you want to know about Bhutan, since I am from there, I can also align the Bhutan's way of life with the conference theme is also an alternative idea that I had, and that became the mainstream talk today. Hope it is something new for you. If you have any questions, if you want to interact, most welcome. We can spend some time on that.
So now the floor is open for questions. Anybody who has any questions for Dr. Chitra, you can ask now. Comments, questions, discussions.
So if you can't see the last line, I can read it for you. How education is defined. Okay? It is defined as a process. It's a lifelong process. As you know, learning is a continuous journey. That contributing for the peace of the nation. At least they know how to tackle the conflicts. It's not that we live in a conflict-free zone, but how to tackle the conflict itself makes the problem half solved. Yeah, please.
So I will ask a question now. I have a couple of questions.
Questions, you can give your comments.
So
Observations.
And my question generally about Bhutan is it was very nice to listen about Bhutan. This is the first time I'm hearing somebody speak so much about Bhutan, and it was very nice. And officially, when I thank you, I will say that. Now, like my question is, you said it's a kingdom, right? So the people there, the black people there, they don't opt for democracy. Is there no desire for democracy there?
Yeah, it started as a monarchy and now it had reached fifth king. The present king is the fifth king of Bhutan. But then in 2008, the country had a transition from monarchy to democracy. It is the youngest democracy in the world. They are experiencing democracy now. And the fourth king was again a visionary. He stepped down from his throne and he made his son into a king. He became the fifth king. But then with the transition, the king is still the head of the state. Okay? But then there is a parliament, there is a national discussion whenever they make policies. Assembly is there where the discussions will be held by ministers. For every minister has a portfolio. All these protocols of democracy are observed. But the overall control is by the king. The prime minister and the king will make the decisions final. Their discussion on every vital decisions for the country will be finalized through their correspondence with each other. Their mutual consensus for the decision for the welfare of the citizens. So that's how harmony could be seen in these two things, Prime Minister and King. Recently, during our former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh's funeral, the King of Bhutan was sitting next to our President. And Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, has visited Bhutan last year and he was given a grand welcome. So the Indo-Bhutan friendship is also very good and the King often visits India.
Thank you so much. And I have one more question. I would like to know your opinion on something because this seminar is on peace literature and peace studies. Peace studies is something very close to my heart. But I always had this question: if all this talk about peace in the education would be utopian, can it be practical? Because we seem to be a warring species from long ago, 15,000 years back. We have used very sophisticated weapons to fight from long ago. All our narratives also, epics, everything, religious books, everything talks about war basically. So violence seems to be a part of human common, the way we are constituted. So this striving towards peace, this dialogue of peace we are opening in the educational arena, is it utopian or do you think like if everybody begins to think like that, there would definitely be a more peaceful world? What I would like to know your take on that.
Thank you for this wonderful question. So this question actually helps me address the other slide that I have prepared for the conference, where the focus of my talk was literature and war. If I just trace you through the changes that we have witnessed take ancient epics, okay, like Iliad, Odyssey and Mahabharata, war is glorified in those epics because they believed in the triumph of good over evil, virtues and beliefs. This is what ruled the mind of the people then in the epic age. So ancient epics glorified war. That's how they presented it. But then in the Middle Ages, that scenario changed because from glorification we moved to conquest, expansion of territories. So it became more of conflict between nations. And then in the modern times, with the advent of the 2 world wars that the world has witnessed, and almost all the countries were engaged in these wars, that time devastation was on a massive scale because of nuclear and atomic weapons. So no longer war became a subject fit for glorification because mutilated limbs, bloodshed, violence, this is not a subject to be glorified. But then the focus of literature changed. War was at the backdrop. Writers used war as a backdrop to talk about the spirit of mankind, how mankind continued to pursue their life irrespective of all the challenges. There was a World War that Madam has done on Holocaust literature, and you all might have studied history and Holocaust literature during Nazi regime. Life was at stake. There was limited ration. There is uncertainty of life. Among all these things, people still believed in themselves and they believed that they can do some good to others. Okay? This is the spirit of mankind that kept the humanity moving through decades of progress, through different ages. And today, Russia, Ukraine, and all the prospects for Third World War in terms of resources. Water becomes a crisis and oil becomes a crisis. So everything is so fluid and fragile. For the sake of resources, another world war can emerge. It's so volatile, the situation. Not only political, everything is politicized. Resources are politicized. Leave aside the borders. And I strongly recommend peace literature in education. And Madam's idea is beautiful because I feel we are too late. We should have had peace literature in our education. We should have been the first and foremost to introduce that in our education system. Why? Having witnessed partition history. Our country is more eligible to introduce this in our education system because if you read partition history, how it has torn the country apart. Not just the borders are created, but the lives are disheveled. Recently, I was reading a novel by Anchal Malhotra. Okay, I was also listening to her YouTube videos in a book talk. She created new books, contemporary books on partition. When I say partition studies in literature and partition novels, you might think of Khushwant Singh, Train to Pakistan. Okay? And you might think of series of novels created by writers after partition since 1960s to 1980s. But recently, there is a new emergence, re-emergence of partition studies and partition literature using contemporary lens. And this writer, Anchal Malhotra, has interviewed a lot of survivors. Not only survivors, the first generation, but the second and the third generation survivors of the partition history. And she has studied the intergenerational trauma. That trauma doesn't end with the survivor. It passes to their children, okay, for generations together. The grandparents might have experienced the partition. Okay? The moment of partition might have been experienced by the grandparents. But the third generation is still affected by the feelings of the partition. That is the trauma they are experiencing till today because the parents could not invest their love and could not give that peace to their children because as survivors of that trauma, they were so disturbed. So she revives that memories and calls it as material memory. Whatever little things they carried with them as remnants of their past become material memory for the future generation, and the future generation is still connecting them to their ancestors and to the history of their personal life. It is a personal history as well as national history coming together in individuals. And this material memory is a new kind of memory she talks about, and this is also contributing to memory studies in literature. Not only for partition studies, which is reviving, but from material be the forerunners of this. That's my perspective.
It's very encouraging and thank you so much.
Thank you for your question. Actually, that brings more insights.
More questions, no?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you please tell about the importance of supremacy in Bhutan?
Importance of
Supremacy in Bhutan.
what kind of supremacy? Can you make your question clear?
As a political resolution. As a political.
Okay. Let me give you a political overview of Bhutan. Now the third time democracy is going on. Before that, it was ruled by kings. Up to the fourth king, it was fully under monarchy. Then in 2008, by looking at the world, they want to become democracy to join the world. See, before that, Bhutan closed its doors. It was a very isolated nation. They wanted to preserve their sovereignty because they are so small in size. I told you the geographical pressure, the geopolitical tension that they had. So they were afraid to open their doors to the outside world. So they remained closed until 1950s. Then gradually in 1950s and in 1960s only, through modern education system, largely they depended on India for modern education system. This was introduced and the schools were established. Before that, schools were there in few places, but more and more schools run by government were introduced and established. This is how it paved way for modernity, and they started interacting with other parts of the world, and especially with UNICEF, UNESCO, with such platforms in the Western world, so that they will get financial grant and financial aid and scholarship for their citizens to pursue higher studies in other parts of the world. Most of the Bhutanese receive good scholarship in Western countries. They go to Denmark, Australia, Canada for their higher studies. Now they are also going to Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand for their PhD studies. Most of them get scholarship in these nations. So that's how the country started developing. Okay? But when it comes to political thing, now democracy is very peaceful. I told you how they make their decisions in consultation with the king. So this is how major decisions, not every day running of the government. Everyday government will be run by the Prime Minister. All the set things, the scholarships, the student admissions, university grants, everything is already established. The established things will be taken over by the government. But any new decisions, if it has to be taken for the country and for the people as a whole, then there should be a consultation with the king, and that's how decisions will be made, taking the larger interest into account. So they don't want to stake the security of the country for any reasons. So this is the political standpoint in their policy decision making.
evening. What can you explain about the educational system and examination methods in Bhutan?
Yeah, President. Though I talked about this green education system, this is not the full-fledged education system that is adopted, but this green school components are integrated into their education system through all activities, through club activities and through other activities. It is integrated into the system. But otherwise, like us, all the subjects like mathematics, science, this kind of modern education is adopted. Alongside that, this green education also has a provision. This is also instilled. And then coming to higher education, tertiary education, we are now giving more importance to data-related courses because we don't want to join hands with the world in socio-economic development also. Therefore, there is a demand for job-oriented and skill-based courses. This is not only in Bhutan. When I was interacting with Madam Principal, this is how the trend is in the post-COVID era all over the world. This is called educational trend and a shift. And Bhutan is not an exception. Keeping their small population in mind, they want to make the population more job-ready and skillful, but without compromising values. Any education, whether it is technical education or whether it is university or higher education or teacher education, values are the core, the founding pillars of their education system, upon which they try to build the skilling, which is called upskilling and reskilling programs. These programs are initiated through digital communication, project management, then economics and political science, bachelor degree in that, and data science and data analytics. Apart from that, STEM education. STEM education is given huge importance these days because students are moving away from physics, chemistry, mathematics, but that's the founding pillars for any skill-based courses. If you want to know data, if you want to enter into digital communication, basic numeracy skill is essential. I am also afraid of numbers. That's why I took refuge in literature. Okay? So, but that is going to be the future. So, for the future prospects to sail with the world, numeracy skills is important when it comes to data. Some basic statistical knowledge and to interpret data, how data can be interpreted. Here I would like to officially record this point. For literature students, there is a new opening. This is called data storytelling. On the other day, last week in Delhi, where I was invited, I was talking about this data storytelling concept. Even literature students can become data storytellers. We are all storytellers, but we can become data storytellers because there is huge amount of data generated by all of us. When we visit any website, we are generating data. Our visit into the online store is getting recorded. This is how every business, every purchase, every visit to the online store, every access is becoming a data. But what to do with this data that we are generating? This year alone, 175 zettabytes data is going to be generated in human history. But what to do with it? How to deal with this data? We can visualize the data in the form of graphs and charts to see whether a business is, even the admissions in colleges, whether it is increasing or decreasing, whether there is a spike for BA English course, or is it a dip compared to the previous years. So this can be visualized in the form of graphs and charts, and every number has a story to tell. Okay, this is where we come in. Numbers are not just facts and figures. Behind numbers, there is a story. So who will unravel the story?
a problem, there is an opportunity. Problem is one side, opportunity is the other side of it. So you can solve that and you can come to a resolution. So this is the story that numbers have. As students of literature, we can apply a narrative framework to bring that story to the forefront. And like this, in a forum, you can present the story of the numbers to convince the audience who will be the stakeholders. The audience will be the stakeholders for the business. They will be part of the management for that institution. If your institution want to start a new course, the trustees need to be invited and they need to be convinced why this course is required, how much funding it requires. You have to speak through data, but data through a narrative. A combination of these three called data, visuals plus narrative. Visuals means not just photos or images from Shutterstock, it is data visualization in the form of graphs and charts, so that it is appealing for the audience and they can understand through the lines whether it is spiking or dipping low, how the trend is upward or downward. But that has a story to be told. Who will tell that story? Data analysts are not ready to tell that story because they have the huge job and responsibility of creating visualization, analyzing the data, analyzing the numbers. So there is a need for data storytellers. That's where students from humanities background can fit in. With little knowledge of data, you can do wonders. This is going to be the future job market for humanities graduates. So this is the long story that I cut short.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you say something about Bhutan's literature?
Yeah, but I need another conference for it. Even in this Bhutan at a glance, I told you about that ballet, isn't it? That is, we are starting the beginning work. Feel free, feel comfortable. I will just give the overview of these writings. Apart from this ballad, there are many few poems. Apart from that, folk tales. Bhutan has a very strong oral tradition. Written communication and written literature came much later. It has a very strong oral tradition. So folk tales and folklores, these are quite important and they are very significant. Even recently I have collected the folklores and I have published that as Orature as Testimony as a project. And that was published by Atlantic Publishers and it's available in Amazon. Orature as Testimony. Apart from that, it has a few novels also. And now more and more writers are coming up with stories from diasporic perspective because many have migrated to Australia. They are all educated people who are studying in Australia as well as working because you can learn and learn. So they are enrolling themselves in another master's course plus they are learning. So these intellectuals are contributing to their country about their experiences abroad. And from abroad, when they look at their own culture and look at their own roots, how it is, the distance view of their culture, this is how diasporic literature is yet to come. So I can say it is in the budding stage.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I also had some kind of a question to ask you about the literature produced in Bhutan.
So it is in the inception. It is in the initial stage.
We understand that we have spirituality in the likes of Buddhist and oral traditions are there in Bhutan. But what about the themes, ma'am? Mostly cultures. Do we have partition literature there also? Not much.
Partition literature.
studies, also some gender. I have done novels on using gender framework.
We have novels also.
Yeah, novels
Dramas.
also. Drama is very few.
Right.
Novels are many because people feel that it's easy to write stories.
Short stories.
Yeah, short stories, novels and novels. I can give you few names that can be used for research.
Northeast, we have so much of literature.
Yeah, Northeast also now they are coming up with more literary pieces, more novels, dramas, and poems. Compared to that, Buddhist literature is in the budding stage.
Thank you for making your time here, ma'am. On behalf of everyone, I would like to thank you for being here. Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you.
So good afternoon to all. On behalf of the Department of English, the students and the participants and everyone present here and for the online participants, I heartily thank Dr. Chitra for this enlightening session. She literally took us on a journey to Bhutan. This is something, we know so much through literature, about so many other countries that are so far away, the other continents, but now like Bhutan is a neighboring country and we hardly know anything about that. And this talk by ma'am, really took us there about their art, culture, educational system, and that was really good. And about the cross happiness, and also like we are still in 127 or something. India, we can definitely take a lesson from the Bhutan model, and it was very nice to listen how it is such a safe place. And actually, we were a little envious about the way it sounded. It sounded like very like a paradise. It was very good, and also the questions you answered and about how you connected with when we had this discussion about it's good. Like though we started late, at least now we have started talking about peace and education. That is a wonderful point you made, ma'am. And also thank you so much for telling us about Anchal Malhotra and her books, because I have had material memory. We have heard of post-memory, we have heard of intergenerational trauma and European context, but I am very happy to know that people are doing research in the Indian context also. So looking forward to many more interactions with you in future, ma'am. And thank you for taking your valuable time to be with us today, and the clarity. I enjoyed the way you spoke, without any fillers, the clarity of your talk. And also I think like now I can see why you are been very successful in directing plays and theatrical, the expressions with which you spoke also. It was not monotonous at all. It kept us all engaged. Thank you so much for this lively and wonderful talk.